have for this edition of the SciComm Huddle is the Science in the City, Science and Arts Festival, all the way from Malta. We have Dr. Edward Duca, a Science and Innovation Communication Lecturer at the University of Malta, the Editor-in-Chief of the research magazine Think, and he also runs the Science Communications STEAM Summer School, involved in several large EU-funded projects, and has created and managed several science communication events through the NGO, the Malta Chamber of Scientists. The largest activity being the National Science and Arts Festival, Science in the City, attracts 6% of Malta's population annually. He's recently been appointed as Reactor's delegate for STEM popularization engagement and EUSEA board member. I cannot fathom the level of planning, strategy, and management required to execute such an event. So I'd really, I welcome warm-heartedly Dr. Edward Duca to discuss and tell us more about how you execute your festival.
Thank you, Suchita, and thank you so much for inviting me to talk to you more about what we do in Malta. Let me share my screen. So Science in the City was an idea that came to me based on my experience having lived in the UK. I saw a lot of science and arts and wanted to bring that to Malta. I applied for EU funding. It's called European Researchers' Night. This is the last Friday of September. That happens every year all over the EU. And it now attracts over 2 million people in 2019. And happens in over 200 cities. It's quite an incredible event. And through that funding, we managed to run Science in the City. We also have won an award since 2017 for being, which is a cultural festival. And for us, the good science and good arts are key. We also, this year, won the National STEM Awards as well. So that's really, really nice for us, and that we're getting this recognition. So I'd like to show you also the festival in terms of what used to happen before COVID. This was 2019. You can see it's a street festival, just to try to make it as accessible as possible to people. But this is happening in a 400-year-old UNESCO World Heritage Site built by the Knights of St. John. So there's this very interesting contrast between science, tech, AI, robotics. Everything is hands-on. The people can speak to the researchers, to students. We get over 700 researchers because of the large number of people who come, the 30,000 figure. It's quite, we have music, dinosaurs. So just to go over some of our science and arts activities, this is You Are the Staircase. You can see it on the right. This was for a couple of weeks in the middle of the street. People could climb it. There were, this was one of our first artworks in 2012. We've now learned from this. For example, nowadays I would organize the researchers to be there, be engaging the people who are coming, and create a lot of activities around such an attractive artwork. People still remember and talk to us about this artwork, so that was incredible for us. We also combine dance with, for example, autism, or cutting-edge technology as well. We then brought the researchers and people involved in the dance also to speak to the people there after the performance. This is science, maths, and spirituality. This person, very unique individual, and she combined a lot of different dance forms, including some from India as well, if I'm not mistaken. But also combine that with the beauty of numbers and so on. This was an example of a multimedia experience focused on citizen science. So it was communicating the citizen science project about orchids in Malta. So citizens had gone around, been measuring orchids, They were trained by a team of researchers. They were involved in the analysis, helped write a paper, really, really good project by Greenhouse, Malta. And we also had, as you saw, dancers. We had burlesque performance, shadow puppetry, all to give this immersive experience. We also have combined mental health and theater, aging also, and differences in generations, and some really fantastic artworks as well. This is Light Pushes stuff, which is about quantum physics. One of our most successful, this actually went to Beijing and, if I'm not mistaken, Germany as well. Not Beijing, sorry, it went to Hong Kong and Germany. And it's showing how when light hits a surface, it can actually push it. And we represented that with these torches. And as you can see, people really loved it. It was all over the news, a very big hit. Just to go through a bit of our evaluation, because I think this is really important and really key. So I think we started doing evaluation a lot better from 2016. That means the first 4 years we weren't doing it very well. This is always a learning experience, and I think it's very important for people to reflect, to develop this reflective practice. So reflect on what they're doing in order for them to improve. So this graph is showing the people who are coming. We were asking them, okay, who are you coming with? How many people are you coming with? And we identified that, so we're very, as you saw, a very family-friendly festival, but actually there's a huge group who are teenagers and young students who are actually coming. That is, and also some pensioners. And the pensioners, some of them are just coming with their friends and family, with their friends, not with their family. So this showed us that we needed to develop more targeted activities to teenagers, which is a very difficult group to reach, and students also, and pensioners. So we could deliver a better product. And we actually saw that people then said that the quality of the festival improved after we did this. In 2019, we went super serious with the evaluation. We are now collaborating with the company Quali Analytics, they're an Ireland-based company. Professor Eric Jensen and Aaron Jensen are involved. We changed into a pre and post survey. This allowed us to measure change within the festival, so we could see that people's reflections on research and researchers changed by coming to the festival, and a lot of them got broader views, so that more people could do it, and so on. This is showing, comparing education in European Researchers' Night in Ireland and Malta, showing that in Malta we're attracting more people from a lower social economic background as well. The education level is here. When we compared these to the national average, we saw that we still were attracting a group of people which are highly educated compared to the rest of society. So about half of the people coming. So just to show you some of the data we get from the Quali Analytics system that we've worked with for the last few years. And they compare with other ERNs also to get more useful information, like this whole idea of who is coming to the festival came out because of this collaboration we've developed with a number of other European Researchers' Night as well. So I really encourage this approach of having evaluation techniques shared so you can get more valuable data out of it. So here, people experiencing disappointment in 2019, pretty low. Their comfort, overall doing very well. And the enjoyment was very, very, very high. But we asked them things beyond, did you enjoy it, as you saw. Was it comfortable? Were things clear? Were their perceptions of research and so on? And that was important for us. So this is what I'm showing you now, the results of an independent survey that showed that it was about 69% by 2019 of people in Malta had heard of the festival, and over 40% had actually come to the festival, which was pretty amazing. And just some stats here about the number of people we reach and so on. I've mentioned most of them. So going digital. So 2020 was very, very challenging for us. We had like 3 different plans because COVID-19 regulations kept changing, and it's been intense. It's been very difficult, but I think it's been very innovative. So we developed a lot more video content. We focused more on social media, and we reduced the amount of real-world PR. Just to show you some examples, this is the first time we went to an illustrated, animated video to attract. We just invested more of our resources in these activities, and it worked out pretty well, to be honest. We also went international. This is the first time we did it successfully, and we had researchers from 9 different countries around Europe saying we are all researchers in their own native language, including Maltese, and it was something that was very touching. These did very well online on Twitter because we were 5-6 different festivals all sharing this. So the impact we achieved was a lot higher. Just to show you some of the other videos, this is about what would you tell your younger self. So people from Scotland, just to flip through it because it's a bit too long. Spain and other countries also. We also interviewed our very own interns. We run a lot of internships. So every year we train about 8 to 10 people through the festival. So a lot of these people continue to develop a science communication career afterwards. Andrew Fairbank here was one of our best interns. He did an amazing job. So we also got videos from our partners. This required no work at all. We involved between 50 to 100 different NGOs, government associations, and this sort of approach helps us. This video did very well without any significant investment from our end. It just matched the values of the festival, which are key. So working with others really helps. As I said before, we also created more video content, as you can see over here. And just to go through, so that's a lot of our awareness raising on social media that I was showing. And what we did is we massively increased our pre-festival events. We had film screenings, we had fishbowl discussions, we had arts, all online. So this is our fishbowl discussion. We had experts, students, and citizens all part of it and talking. And that went very well. We chose controversial topics, legalization of cannabis, euthanasia, abortion, all very contentious topics in Malta. And we thought we were a good platform to raise these discussions. We also screened film activities and then had discussions about them. This was on active aging. We also have 24-hour availability, 24-hour on our website. You can go on it now, scienceinstitute.org.mt. If you go under events, explore the arches, you'll see a lot of video content, activities, and so on that people can do at home and watch from home as well. And this was our live virtual festival. We rented out a studio. We had pre-recorded theater, such as this one. This was on genetics, but we combined it with also social issues. Again, combining the environment and social issues and theater, puppet theater. One of our best ones was this dance performance, combined with, this was actually pre-recorded and everything in the UK. They were meant to come to Malta, they obviously couldn't because of COVID. And it was our headline act. It was amazing, actually, that it still happened. Just to show you this beautiful performance. And she you know, this, I think this shows the power of online, but when you go online, you really need to dedicate yourself to it. In fact, I might go about a minute over, just to show you how we went hybrid as well. So just to show you a bit how the studio looked inside. And we were showing all these music events and so on, whilst basically it was like a 3-day variety TV show. So we try to increase the engagement by having live discussions and so on. So what did our research show us? What it showed us was that going online actually increased a lot the number of people with no formal education. Beforehand, this was very low. So we got, by going online, we actually increased accessibility. So I know there's the issue of the digital divide. You need to have access to the internet. Access to the internet in Malta is pretty good. Everyone is basically on Facebook, so we live streamed on Facebook, and I think that helped us get an audience that normally wouldn't actually come to Valletta, to the street festival. Disappointment remained about the same. Active participation, however, despite all our activities, we had escape rooms, super engaging, but still people didn't feel they could participate as much as a real world event. Comfort to participate also, but enjoyment remained high. So that was very, very good for us. Okay, so going hybrid, just to show you a bit about this, and I'll try and keep it as short as possible. We had an online festival still, but we also did these tours, shows, artworks, exhibitions in about 7 different venues around Valletta. So we went, because of the show, so we had to remain 2 meters social distance. And because of that, we went for mostly a show model or small groups with tours in Malta. And this, let's see what the results showed us. This was our major art piece that people could visit. So we still got people with no formal qualifications coming, not as much as the year before though, and we got an increase in the level of education. So we went a bit back to how the real world method was, but by keeping still the online, we still managed to reach a diverse audience. However, the disappointment increased to our highest levels ever. And a lot of the comments, if you look into them, are because people were expecting something more hands-on. So participation, comfort to participate, and so on was still quite low. Not as bad as online only, but not as high as when we had stands and so on. And enjoyment, actually, one of our worst ever as well. I think this shows you, I mean, 9 out of 10 people still enjoyed it, but I think this showed us that going hybrid is still something we actually need to learn better how to do, I think. And that's, thank you very much. That's what I wanted to share.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Edward, for showing us visually how the festival happened, earlier, in person, and also how we've adopted the hybrid model. In fact, for a lot of science communicators in India, it's kind of dreamy to, execute such a thing in India, and hopefully we do that someday.
Hey!